I don't need to tell you we're living in very transformative times, but this new moon, it's actually another super moon, is bringing in an incredibly transformative energy. Things are breaking down and new forms are starting to come together. The festival of Diwali starts on this new moon as well. That's the festival of light. Light brings clarity, but the light is the inner light at this particular time. And we'll talk more about leaning into that. Clarity of purpose and optimism and courage and endurance you can look forward to with this new moon coming in and the energy. There's really an amazing portal opening for you to be able to set new goals, set new intentions, everything from your dharmic path to the wealth that you are ready to create for yourself, and be able to go the distance with that. It's the harvest time, and it's time to really look at what have you gathered, what have you harvested from this incredible year. Hi, I'm Prema Gurreri, Vedic Astrologer and Consciousness Coach, and welcome to Chart Your Path. Go ahead and click the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my updates. I'm here to help you to chart your path. Feel free to share this as well. New moons are when we plant, it's a new beginning. It's the new cycle of the moon, and the new moon update here is about what is the energy of this new cycle so that you can chart your path, so you can move with that energy. And what is it that you want to plant? Because you want to do that from a conscious place, and otherwise you're going to be planting unconsciously. That's the way it works. So this new moon is happening in Vedic Astrology in the sidereal zodiac, in the true placement of the planets. It is happening in the constellation of Libra, and it'll be on November 14th, Pacific time, around 9 p.m. And this is the energy of, the star of purpose lives here. And so it's a very dharmic, a very purposeful energy, and really calling us all to wake up to what is our purpose at this point in time. Are we actually walking our purposeful path? It's also asking us to sort of really pull in and lean into the inner light. Now, a new moon is always asking us to do that, but at the time of year we are here in the Northern Hemisphere, and with this is the festival of Diwali, the festival of light, which I will talk about a little bit more, so hang in with me here. So this is there's an energy with the god of Indra here that brings in transformation, that with the god of fire. When the fire, obviously brings the light, it brings enthusiasm, but it also helps to bring clarity. There's an energy of wisdom because Jupiter happens to rule this lunar mansion, and helping us to usher in the light that we need for clarity. We're not going to find that light on the outside. It's not the middle of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. This is where we're really called to dig deep and go into the light within. So there's also an energy opening up here for you to refine your faith, your optimism, your hope even, and your enthusiasm. Like, are you on your purposeful path? What do you need to do to shift that in order to get on it? So really, really look at that for yourself, because now instead of it feeling like cloudy and a chore, or maybe like I don't really know, or that it's too much for me. I know that's been a big energy up. Like maybe you've already felt that tap on your shoulder. You know what you need to do next. You know what you need to do to make your impact, for you to contribute, but it just feels like way too much work. You're going to get, there's a new fire burning within, and you're going to be able to resource your courage and be able to start to get productive around that. And it's not going to feel so like such a daunting task. Now, when you lean on your gifts, when you lean on what I call your Sacred Wealth Code, those are your highest value gifts. And then stepping into your purpose is natural, and it is something that doesn't feel so arduous, because these are things like you were born with a PhD in, and you just need to step into those gifts. So even if it takes energy, it feeds you at the same time. This new moon is also bringing in the ability to really set some new goals, and to give you that the determination, the patience, like I'm talking about here, the perseverance. And look, it's taken a lot of perseverance to get where we are in November 2020, okay? But this is going to bring in an energy for you where, again, just like your purpose, your goals, it's going to, you'll feel like, oh, there's a place in me that, oh, I've got the energy for that. Even if I don't have it all today, that it's coming. And that's the key point in here. Also, it's harvest time. So I want to invite you just to take a look back at this year and what have you grown and what are you harvesting? Like sit down and make a list and look, okay, what have you learned over this year? What have you acquired? What have you let go of? And what are you walking into this time of this particular time that's going to sustain you for where you're going, where we're going next? Really important for you to do. So take the time to do that. In fact, I'd love for you to comment below and like, what's your harvest from this year? Maybe it's a new belief system. Maybe it is, maybe you've ended up with a new career. Maybe you have didn't know that what you felt like you lost was really the best thing that ever happened to you. What are you harvesting this year? Maybe it was a new relationship. Maybe it was a new relationship with the divine, with yourself. Love to hear that down below. Now, we need to also be careful with this new moon that you don't fall into that shadow masculine energy of pushing too hard. And you let things unfold and work with them from the inside out. I'm all about, whether I'm teaching how to create your amazing work in the world or your business in the world, or a project you're working on, let's do it from the inside out so that we do it with flow, that we do it with grace, and you make sure you're clear and you're aligned and you're not just taking in too much programming information from the outside and it's jamming your circuits. Be careful of pushing too hard because then you're working with just the 3D world and outside information instead of the truth that lies within you. Also, be careful of frustration. And that's if things aren't, you think things should be moving at a different pace than they are. We have this aspect here from Mars that's been kind of heating this up too. Your determination is great, but watch out for any aggression and also arguments. So that's the shadow side that you're going to need to watch out for with this full moon, with this new moon. Now let's talk about Diwali, the festival of light. And you can think of it as the intention of light. Light gives us choice. If you're in a dark room, you can't even see the doors. And if the lights are on, you might notice there's 3 windows, there's 2 doors, and there's like, the most amazing flowers on the table or whatever it might be. Or someone you haven't seen forever who's sitting in that room with you. Light gives you choice. So the Diwali is this amazing festival that starts at this particular new moon every year. And it is really about light brings order to the universe. And in fact, Vedic Astrology, Jyotish, breaks down to meaning the science of light. We're reading light and how that plays out, how that affects, and what that lights up. So Diwali is really the celebration of light over dark. And you might say, well, Prema, what? But it's getting dark outside in the northern hemisphere. Yes, but light is within you. Light over whatever you perceive darkness to be. And so that you can see the truth. And really, it's time to honor the light within. Like light a candle and take a moment to recognize that the light shines within you. That is your divine spark. And are you connected to that? The deities and the story around Diwali, it's really honoring Lord Rama, the great protector. It's the honoring of and the triumph of good over dark. It's representative of new beginnings. Now, new moon is always new beginnings, but Diwali is also new beginnings. So this is a very powerful new moon. And again, it always happens this time every year. It's a time of calling in abundance and blessings for the year to come. So here you're setting your new goals and then also calling in those blessings. We've got the goddess Lakshmi, who's all about abundance. With Diwali, Kubera, that is the god Kubera, which is all about wealth. And wealth, in my definition, is everything you need to fulfill your purpose. My book, Your Sacred Wealth Code, which there's a link down below for, really helps you to understand and unlock your path of purpose and prosperity and what true wealth happens to be for you. There's even a process in that book, and actually also in my journey program, which the link is below, that helps you to understand what is your wealth dream so that you can understand what your purpose for wealth is. Great time to redefine these things for you. And also Ganesha, which helps us to overcome obstacles. So take time to, like I said, light a candle, do your best to keep your light bright. How do you do that? With spiritual practice, remembering that you're a spiritual being here in the physical world, and not just knowing that, but closing that gap between what you believe is true and actually what you're embodying. So set your abundance and wealth intentions, and why you want your wealth and why you want the abundance and why you want your purpose comes down to the deeper purpose of everything. And purpose pulls us forward. That's the beautiful thing about purpose. And instead of us trying to push everything forward, purpose will pull you forward. Allow yourself to be pulled forward with this energy. Okay, a couple of the other great transits going on. I talked about these transits also in my November update where I talked about the blue moon, and you can grab that video down below. There's a link to that video. And Mars has just stationed. It's just stationed because it's been going retrograde, and it's going to go direct, like they stop and then it goes direct. The energy is intense. Mars's energy is intense. So if you felt that lack of forward momentum, felt like, that start-stop energy because it's been in Pisces and went to Aries and back in Pisces, it'll eventually make it to Aries again around Christmas time, but it's going to be going forward in Pisces. This is going to be a resurgence of inspiration, of feeling like productivity. It's going to be helpful, especially for some of you. It depends on where this is actually hitting you in your chart. But for all of us, we're going to feel this like we're going somewhere. And it's like coming out of the ashram after have been sitting on the cushion for a long time and doing spiritual practice and being crystal clear, and now you know where you're going. Or you've been checking out all this time and, binge watching or binge eating, and now it starts moving forward and you're feeling really scattered. So do what I said earlier in this video, and that will help you tremendously. Jupiter's just aligned with Pluto and is still very close to Pluto, so it's making the energy really intense. We had this earlier when COVID started back in early spring of last year. But the big thing about Jupiter is moving into Capricorn to align with Saturn. I talked about that also in the November update video. And it's going to be in Capricorn it's going to shift on the 19th, and it's going to be there till April 5th. It's going to visit Aquarius for a little while and then come back. I'll be giving you all those updates, so don't worry about the timings. But the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn only happens every 20 years. It's like a generational, we bring the expansion and knowledge of Jupiter, and we bring the wisdom and the grace and expansion of Jupiter, and bring those two energies together, and they help to support and sort of balance out each other, so to speak. Now, the conjunction in the sign of Capricorn has not happened with these two planets since the 1960s. Okay, so it's paradigm shifts happen when they come together. Are we not in a paradigm shift? Okay, so I'll be talking more about this energy. I talked about it in the November update, but it's a time of restructuring, about bringing the bigger vision down to earth and creating the structures around it, everything from a new government, but the new structures in your life that actually support a higher vision. It's very getting practical and grounded with the vision and taking responsibility for what is ours to take responsibility for. It's a big restructuring that we're up for. This is a good thing, okay? This is a good thing. So again, I'll be talking more about that. Check out that video. The other aspect I want to talk about is Venus. And I talked about this in the November update too, but it's on the 16th, it's going to move into its sign of Libra. That's where this new moon is happening. And it's going to really help our connectivity and our relationships. Relationships have been a bit challenged, okay? So you are going to feel like that you could actually start to maybe communicate more about things in relationship, that you're willing to compromise. Others people are willing to compromise. There's more of a willingness to come together on things, discuss things, work it out. That's a really great energy. We need that right now. And so, and that's, just we're all one. no matter what our beliefs are, we come from source. And being able to really listen to others and have others listen to you, this is how we can find the ways that we can connect and can come together. The great connector in the Vedic, in the Sacred Wealth Code system, rules Venus as well as the artist, as well as the muse. And so that energy of creativity is Venus is going to really ignite our ability to connect, our deep intuition as well. And this will be a very healing energy. So if there's relationships that have really been annoying you, or you are in jeopardy in any way and it's been really challenging, take a deep breath. And as this energy comes in on the 16th, and it'll be there into December, you're going to feel like you can start to work things out. One thing I wanted to say that I forgot to say about Jupiter, and I will be talking more about this, that Jupiter is going to exactly align with Saturn on the winter solstice. This is a very, very pivotal time. So also, the other thing is that the full moon that we'll have on the 30th is a partial lunar eclipse. I will bring you another update about that. It'll be an emotional time. Do not schedule important things on November 29th, November 30th, and 30 days that's November, and then the 1st of December. We always want to watch out for those times. We'll actually have I'll just forward paste you a little bit. There'll be a full solar eclipse. That's a big one, the solar eclipse on the 14th of December. So you're going to want to watch the days around that. Changing periods of time with eclipses, and so I'll be bringing you the update about that. It's a time to just keep your sea legs on. It's been a big year. We still have changes yet to come. But you being on purpose and you knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it, and you stepping into what you're being called to step into, and I'd love to hear you comment about that. What are you being called to step into is what is not only going to sustain you, but it is also what you can contribute to pull us through to the other side. All right, click the like button, share this, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any updates, and so much love to you.